أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Thank you very much for joining us for this sixth and the last session of this course. We'll discuss about the next course, inshallah, at the end of the class today. Thank you for some of you who took trouble to send your homework. It gave me an idea that homework is not only important for you, also important for me, because I come to realize that are you really following what I'm trying to teach or not? Are you understanding or not? No? Or what can I do better to make it easier? Because you can see we have been saying that our aim is to make things simplified, no? Because I see many of you are seniors, so I should make it simplified. But at the same time, we learn and benefit of it. No? So thank you very much for that homework. Every homework which I received, I went through and sent my comments to all of you. Okay, so I thought I will begin with, as you know, that today is the Wednesday. Next Wednesday will be the last day of Shaban. We are expecting most probably, Thursday to be the first of Ramadan. In fact, the calendar shows that next Thursday will be the first of Ramadan. But in fact, not only that, Shaban, the 29th of Shaban is Wednesday. So Thursday is most probably the first of Shaban, I'm expecting. Although Sunnis have been already announcing that they may going to start on Wednesday. We are going to start most probably on Thursday, inshallah. As you know that in some places, Shaban is one day ahead of us now. So keep in mind that we're doing 29 days in Shaban. So I thought let me start with a short dua, which all of you know because we recite this dua just before the Iftatah. But I would like you to look at it and look at the Arabic aspect of it, okay? Because as students of Arabic. So always in dua, the etiquette, adab of dua is we start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. And also end with Allahumma salli. There is a hadith, beautiful hadith, they said that Allah was going to accept the first part of the dua and the last part of dua, would not then ignore what is in between. So when we say Bismillah, of course, Bismillah is, you have to always start good things, Bismillah. After that, we say salawat and end in salawat. So Allah will accept the salawat and we also accept the salawat at the end. In between, we pray for ourselves. So there is that hope that when you sandwich your dua between two salawat, inshallah, our duas will be accepted. Allahumma Rabba Shahr Ramadan. Oh Allah, the Lord of the month of Ramadan. So He's the Lord. Like the way He's our Lord, He's also the Lord of the month of Ramadan, which is so holy and sacred. Allahumma Rabba Shahr Ramadan. Alladhi anzalta fihi al-Quran. Now you see that here, you see this small, on Alif, there's a small mark here. This is known as the mark of Hamzatul Wasl. Right? This is like a swad, the letter swad, but just cut off. So this is indication that this alif is Hamzatul Wasl. Hamzatul Wasl, that means alif which is only pronounced if it is at the beginning of the word of the sentence. Otherwise, it will be silent alif. Okay. So because we said Allahumma Rabba Shahr Ramadan, we pause there. We say Alladhi anzal al-Quran. But for example, you can also say Allahumma Rabba Shahr Ramadan alladhi anzal al-Quran. No. So you can, for example, join say alladhi, and you can just this is because the alif is silent. You can ignore. So Allahumma Rabba Shahr Ramadan alladhi anzal al-Quran, or Allahumma Rabba Shahr Ramadan alladhi anzalta fi al-Quran. The one who anzalta, that means descended, revealed down, brought it down in it, fihi. So of course this is a verb we have not covered, but alladhi we are going to inshallah cover it soon. Then and then next level, alladhi. This is what a pronoun. It's a kind of pronoun we are going to learn later on. No, so this is alladhi. For example, in Surah Al-Fatiha, got alladhina. Surat alladhina manta. No, the part of those. So alladhina is poor. This is singular. Alladhi, the one who revealed anzalta. No, you reveal anzalta, in which you reveal fihi. Fi is a preposition, he is a noun, pronoun, fi in it, the Quran. So no, الذي in which you have revealed the Quran. وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام. وافترضت فرض. For example, we say fariza. Then we also say in Urdu, मेरा फरीजा ये है. So fariza comes from the same farada. Farada means to obligate. You have made obligatory for Allah ibadik. You have made it obligatory on your servants to fast in it. Fihi again. In it, that means in this month. Fihi siyam. Because this fihi is in this month, Ramadan. Allah ibadak fihi siyam. So you can see the first part of the dua is just talking about the month of Ramadan, and Allah is the one who has revealed Quran in it, and He has also made fasting wajib on it. So just talk about Ramadan, right? Then, of course, before we ask for dua, it says, Salli ala Muhammad. So keep in mind that, whenever you ask for yourself, before that, ask Allah to bless Muhammad and his progeny. So, Salli ala Muhammad. This is a verb which is imperative, order. But in this case, of course, when we talk to Allah, you're not ordering, we are pleading. So I plead to you, Allah, to bless Muhammad and Allah Muhammad, Ali Muhammad. See, Muhammad, Allah Muhammad and Muhammad. So Allah is a preposition, Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad. This Muhammadin is preposition. This first Muhammadin is genitive because of Allah. Okay. The second one is genitive because of Mudaf ilayh wa Ali Muhammad. The family of Muhammad. Do you see? So this Muhammadin, you can see the first Muhammadin is genitive because of preposition Allah. The second Muhammad is genitive because of Mudaf ilayh, wa al Muhammad, al of Muhammad, family of Muhammad. Warzukni, and just provide me, give me risk. Warzukni hajja baytika haram. Provide me to go to the Hajj al-Bayt al-Haram, to the sacred house, right, of pilgrimage. So it is said that if those people who are going to go to Hajj this year, it will be decided in this month. This is the month, people pray and decide. So of course the question would come that you have been to Hajj not once but many times, and now you don't plan to go, maybe because of age, or you think that I've been there, then why should we pray, right? So when you come to this particular sentence, there are two things you can intend. One is when you say Warzukni Hajjul Karam, just at that time you say that I'm praying on behalf of those who have not gone Hajj. For example, my children, my grandchildren, my niece, my nephew, my friends, right? You can. Secondly, of course, that the Hajj which I perform, Ya Allah, in case if there was any shortcomings, you forgive it and accept that. Make that Hajj to be acceptable. Hajj is makbula. So keep that in mind. But we'll still recite the dua, because dua, Ihat al-ami wa fi kulli am, subhanallah, you can see. It should be that we should go to Hajj this year and every year. So, of course, sometimes people criticize that why you go to Hajj again and again, why don't you let others go? Well, it is good that if you also send somebody, but there's nothing wrong in going again, and because in du'as clearly you say in this month, in this year, and all the year, right? وَغْفِرْ لِي الذُّنُوبَ الْإِذَامِ. Allah, forgive my overbearing sins. Okay, so keep in mind, one of the biggest du'as which we are going to recite in Ramadan again and again is istighfar. Istighfar. وَغْفِرْ لِي الذُّنُوبَ الْإِذَامِ. Not only that Allah forgive my dhunub sins, but those sins which are, overbearing, idam, huge, big sins. فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَغْفِرُهَا غَيْرُكَ. Nobody can forgive it except you. غَيْرُكَ. Now, for example, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ, not the part of those whom you are angry. So غَيْرُكَ, besides you. Nobody can forgive this thing except you. Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, all beneficent, all knowing. So it's a beautiful dua. We recite it every night of Ramadan, just before Dua Iftitah. But if you, for example, sometimes miss Dua Iftitah, you are tired, you could not do it, at least recite this dua. And I would suggest that, you can see just there are 3 sentences only, right, of this dua. You can also memorize it. And it will be good that, memorize and dua, and now you know the meaning of it, recite it. Okay. Any questions before I go to the next slide? You can unmute yourself if you have any question.
So Sheikh Sahab, if there is any preposition before the noun, then it becomes genitive, right? It becomes a kathra.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. All
For
right.
a noun, if I preceded by a preposition, it will become genitive.
Mm.
Yes, Zaida, go ahead.
I have two questions. Um, hmm, in the first line, Rabba Shahri Ramadani shouldn't it? It should be genitive because it's mudaf ilayh, no?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Shari is mudaf ilayh. Rabba Shahri Ramadan. Lord of the month of Ramadan.
So the noon in Ramadan, shouldn't it be kasra for?
Very good, yeah. This is, we will inshallah come later on. These are deep tops. There are certain words which does not take kasra. Like
Okay.
example, on the nights of Shab Qadr, we say, bi Muhammadin, bi Muhammadin, bi Aliyin, bi Aliyin, right? But when it comes to Fatima, we say bi Fatimata, bi Fatimata. Although there is a proposition, so this is Ramadan is one of those words which does not have kasra.
Okay. And second question, in the last line, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَغْفِرُهَا. The ha is a female pronoun. So is that referring to Shahri Ramadan? Is
No,
a month a female noun in
no. Remember, I said when we were doing what broken plurals. Broken plurals is no broken plural is always taken as a feminine. So zanbun is singular. Zunub is no plural.
so it's
So
referring to
wakfir
the
is
dhanb.
zunuba. So this la yakfura, this ha refers to the zunub,
Okay.
sins. And
Okay.
because it is a broken plural, it is taken as a feminine.
Yes,
Innahu
I
la, because nobody forgives them, that means these sins, except you. So it refers to zunub.
okay. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to know what the pronoun was
No, no,
referring
by
to.
all means, I want. In fact, I really would like you. Okay, this Ramadan, when you read the Quran, when you read the Dua, keep the translation in front of you, and every time just try to see the rules which you have covered on Arabic. See how do they play those rules, you know? And if there is something which you feel that this is not okay, ask, for example, that why is it so? Try to ask this question. No? Okay,
So Sheikh Sahib, sorry to take you back, on that previous one.
sure.
You said if there's a preposition before, then it becomes genitive. So what
Yes,
about ala ibadika?
yes, yes. So, Allah ibadika. Very good. Again, ala ibadika, you can see
Okay,
uh,
so,
ibadi, this is the kasra, dal.
right,
Because
okay,
the ka is not part of ibad.
right,
Ka
right.
is a pronoun.
Yes,
Okay,
okay,
so ala ibadi. So the dal got a kasra.
thank
No, the preposition will be also on the noun, not on the pronoun, on the noun.
you. Yeah, okay, thank
Good.
you.
No, no, please, by all means, I want you to be really observant students when you read Arabic, Quran, Dua, and see these things are there. So ibadika means your servant. Okay. So this is the slide, and also what I have done to explain more is that I've done two different slides, separate for definite and for indefinite. Okay. So indefinite cases. First of all, question: why did we choose indefinite before definite? Anybody?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Why did we choose indefinite? This is the table of indefinite, and next is the table of definite. Why do you think we chose indefinite, before definite?
I think that forms the basis, the indefinite forms the basis of the definite, because if you add alif lam to the indefinite, it will become definite. So it's
Awesome.
just
So the default is indefinite. Okay, you're right, Zara. The default is indefinite. Keep in mind, as we said, for example, default is nominative. Default is always indefinite. You make it definite by adding al. Al is never part of the original thing. Okay, original, if you see, for example, originally was Muhammad only, no, Hassan, Hussein, and you say al, no. So when we add al, we are adding extra thing to make definite. So default is always indefinite. That's why we chose indefinite. Okay, I want you to even notice every small thing. One thing I can tell you, And the reason that I enjoy teaching Arabic is a logical language. Of course, there are exceptions to rules, but in many cases, I would say 95% of the cases or 92% of cases is just logic, very logical. You learn the rule and will apply it across the board, everywhere. This is the beauty of it, right? So now here it is. So this is, you can see salihun, right? Salihun is a noun which is indefinite, and that's what it means. So muzakkar, which is masculine, muannas is feminine. Nominative is salihun, accusative is salihan, genitive is salihin. Okay, so dammatain, fatatain, kasratain in singular, right? Now come to muannas. Salihatun, again, dammatain, salihatan, fatatain, salihatin. Okay, this is a typo. Okay, so let me correct it. Now, if you download over the slide, make sure that this is corrected. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. So, salihun, salihan, salihin. Salihatun, salihatun, salihatin. Any question about this particular thing? Is this clear? This is singular, okay? Salihun, salihan, salihin. Salihatun, salihatan, salihatin. In all these cases, you can see there is tanween. Why? Why tanween is there in all these cases?
Because
Because
it's indefinite.
Because it is indefinite, right? Indefinite. It is indefinite. So indefinite always creates tanween. So this is the whole table is indefinite. So it is, you can see tanween is there. So this is singular. Now we come to dual. Okay. Salihun, salihani, nominative. Salihani. And then plural is salihun. So salihun singular, salihani dual, salihuna plural. Do you see this thing? Although this is nominative, you can see nun as a kasra here. You see nominative as a dhamma. Yeah, dhamma applies to singular. When it comes to dual, the sign of nominative is alif and nun kasra. Do you see this thing? The sign of nominative in dual is alif and nun kasra, salihani. And the sign of nominative in plural is waw with sakin and nun fatah. So salihani, salihuna. Are you with me? So this is nominative. Salihun, salihani, salihun. Okay. Now we come to accusative. Salihan, salihaini. Okay. So what happens? This alif salihani now changes to ya sakin when it comes to accusative and genitive. Okay. So alif changes. We said that the sign of dual is alif and nun kasra. The sign of dual in accusative and genitive case is ya sakin and nun kasra. So the only difference is what? Alif changes to ya sakin. So salihan is salihani. So for example, the name Sibtain, Hasanain, Sakalain, these are a dual form in accusative form and genitive form. Okay. I remember when we went to first time to learn to Iran to learn Arabic, and when we learned this thing that this is Salihaini, so I said to my teacher that my name should be Hasnan, not Hasnain, and he laughed. No, he laughed. He said that at least you are learning, you're understanding it, because if you said always the default is nominative, right? Why do we say Hasnain? No, it should not be Hasnain. It should be Hasnan. But of course, there is a reason to that. We'll discuss sometime in any case. But keep in mind, so Salihaini, this is a dual in accusative and genitive of Salihaini. So alif and nun kasra, alif changes to ya sakin, but nun kasra remains Salihaini. Okay, and then comes to plural, salihina, salihan, salihaini, salihina. Okay, this is accusative. And genitive is exactly same in dual and plural case, same as accusative, except in the singular case. In singular case, genitive is salihin. Okay, so this is muzakkar. Does any question about this?
So, Sheikh said then Hasnain should be Hasnaini.
Yes, Hasnaini, yeah. Yes, exactly. It's written, if you write properly, it's Hasnaini or Sibtaini. No.
In first line under dual, it should be Salihani or Salihani.
Yeah, this is again a typo. Salihan.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, this is also a typo.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So at least you can see that I am not only copying and pasting, I'm writing, right? This shows that, when I come to make my notes, actually I'm typing. I'm making trouble to type them and write them. If I was doing cut and paste, this would not be there, right? So yeah, so it will be salihini, salihina. Is that clear now about muzakkar?
Yes.
Okay, now we come to muannas, right? Feminine. Salihatun is nominative. Salihatani. Again, you can see it is same. We say the sign of dual nominative is alif and nun. So salihatani, because this ta marbuta changes to long ta when it is joined with some other letter. You only have ta marbuta, keep in mind, at the end of a letter, at the end of a word. Okay, ta marbuta is always only at the end of the word. Period. When it comes in between, ta marbuta becomes long ta. Okay, and this is the only letter in Arabic which has two sounds. Okay, either it is ta, and if it pause becomes ha. This is the only letter. Unlike English, for example, we've got ch as ch, and ch can also be k, right? Or for example, ph is fur or fur. No, in English so many letters, but in Arabic there's only one letter which has two sounds, and that is ta marbuta. And ta marbuta is always at the end of a word, always. Okay, and when you pause there, it becomes ha. If you continue, it becomes ta. Okay, so for example, people say hayya ala salat, they say azan, hayya ala is wrong. If you are going to pause, say hayya ala salat, you can't say hayya ala salat. Okay, because salatun, what salatun ends with ta marbuta, right? Just now we saw, for example, in this dua, there was salat, right? Allahumma salli, Allahumma, no, Allahumma salli ala. No, there's no here salat, but you know, of course, how salat is written. So salat ends with ta marbuta. So we say hayya ala salat. You don't say hayya ala salat, okay? Although we usually say zakat, right? It's usually popularly known as zakat, but no, technically, if you see grammatically, it's wrong. You can't say zakat. We say zakah. You can't say zakat, no? But over time, salat and zakat have become so popular because those who change, those who read the transliteration of those words were not masters of Arabic language. So they just saw and they just say salat and zakat. They choose salah, zakat, right? You can't say salat and zakat, okay? So keep in mind. So salihatun, salihatani. Okay, now this is a long ta. And salihatun, okay? So here what is the nominative is what? Alif and ta with dhammatain, salihatun. Salihatun, salihatani, salihatun. So alif and ta and ta with dhammatain. These are the signs of nominative in feminine. Okay, the signs of in feminative is alif and ta with dhammatain. Salihatun. So salihatun, salihatani, salihatun. Okay, so this you can see alif salihatun. Now it comes to what accusative. Salihatan, salihataini, saliyatani. So the only difference is that this alif becomes ya sakin and this dhammatain becomes kasratain. Okay, salihatin, kasratain, salihatin. And of course, this particular ayat, if you remember, there is an ayat in Quran which we did come across these words, right? Do you remember that ayat? Anybody know that ayat reference?
It's in Surah Al-Ahzab.
Ayat number 35. Okay, so let's go there. 33, 35. So go to 33, 35. Right, open the Quran, 33, 35, whereby these words were there, right? Both in masculine and feminine form, right? So if you see that, Bismillah ar-Rahman, in this, my print of the Quran, It is page number 591. إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والصادقين والصادقات, right? Okay, so is there salihat there? Okay, so sorry, the salihat is not there in this particular ayat, but maybe another ayat will be there. You can check it later on. I can check for you later on, inshallah. But in this particular ayat, there is no salihat. Okay, but so salihatun, salihatayn, salihatin. Okay, so this is accusative, and genitive will be same for dual and plural, but singular will be salihatin. So salihataini, salihatin. Okay, so this is indefinite form. Okay. Now I know I asked you to just make a homework using the earlier what I asked you to just use this as a base, whereby what we did that all this thing was indefinite, only this was definite, right? Otherwise, all this was indefinite, right? What I did for you when I was answering the homework, I did not only do this, I did a separate table for indefinite and separate for definite. So now we go definite, okay? Okay, before we go to a question here, why there is a mud on Saad in the definite form while it was not there in the indefinite form? See, if you see, I said the default is always indefinite. So Salihun, this is the default. When we move to as-salihu, suddenly shadda came there. Why is there shadda here? Not mud, shadda, sorry. Why is there shadda on Saad?
It's a sun letter.
Because of
Sun letter.
sun letter, okay? So, subhanallah.
Then lam is not pronounced straight away.
It seems that I made a number of typos this time. Okay, so there is a shadda because of what? Sun letter. Remember, in sun letter, what did we say? That the lam of al becomes silent and gets, what, and instead, in the letter after that, assimilated. Then the next letter gets a shadda, right? So the lam gets assimilated with the sun letter, and the sun letter has a shadda. As-salihu. Okay. So is that clear? Why it is shadda there?
Yes.
Okay. As-salihu, as-salihani, as-salihun. Okay. As-salihu, as-salihani, as-salihun. Okay. So this is dhamma. Now there is no dhammatain. Do you see? And this was one of the biggest mistake people did when they submitted the homework. They still put tanween there. There is no tanween in definite case. Okay, the definite always loses its tanween. Keep in mind. The moment you make it definite, the tanween is lost. As-salihu, as-salihani, as-salihuna. As-saliha, as-salihaini, as-salihina. Okay, as-salihi, again as-salihaini, as-salihini, same as this. Okay, as-salihatu, as-salihatani, as-salihatu. As-salihata, as-salihataini, as-saliha, as-saliha. Okay, so this is masculine and this is feminine. Any questions about this table?
Yeah, Sheikh Sab, in Mu'annas, why the ta marbuta gets placed by ta, simple ta,
Yeah.
like salihatu, and
Yeah.
not the ta marbuta.
Okay, this is the rule. I know is that as I told you that ta marbuta is the only letter which comes at the end of a word. Okay, so when you join it something with anything else, for example, a pronoun, or for example, the sign of a dual, or a sign of a plural, once you add those things, right, the ta marbuta changes to long ta. This is the rule. It's no longer, because it's no longer at the end. You can see salihatani, ta is no longer at the end, it's in between. There are two letters after that. Salihatu, there are two letters after that. Salihatani, there are two letters after that. So now since there are two letters suffixed to this ta marbuta, this ta marbuta becomes the long ta. Okay, are you with me? So this is just the rule. Why is it so? I don't know. The only I would say that no ta marbuta is only at the end of the of a word, and it has two sounds. No, if it pauses, there is a ha. Otherwise, for example, it's aya, dhamma, kasra, right? Amina, sabira, right? All these things, for example, you find has this word because of what? Because of ta marbuta. Any questions?
This person understand that the singular is also as-salihah, and the plural is also as-salihah. I mean, in the pronunciation is the same as the singular or plural in the salihah in case of muannas in nominative. So
Yeah.
what you said.
If you pause it, you'll just say as-salihah in all these cases. You're right. If you just say nominative as-salihah, accusative salihah, and genitive salihah, that's correct. But when we put the harakat, then that's what we are going to do it. I agree with you, because that is why that when the word ends at the end, sometimes it's difficult to know what it means. For example, I'll give you an example. Let's open. I'm glad that you asked this thing. Now, let's go to Surah Al-Kafirun. Let's go to Surah Al-Kafirun. I'll tell you something quite interesting there, because since you asked this, I want to. It's Surah number 109, right?
Yes.
See the last ayat. Lakum dinukum waliya dini. Do you see? Lakum dinukum waliya dini. Do you see that noon has a kasra? That kasra actually means my religion, dini. But we always pause with sakin. We say lakum dinukum waliya din. So here, lakum dinukum waliya din, if you just see, if you didn't know the grammatical rule, you will translate that you have your religion and I have religion. But actually, the answer, the translation is to you, your religion, and to me, my religion. That my comes from the word dini, that kasra. You see, so yes, exactly. That you will, when you just say, you will say, in all these cases, nominative or accusative, genitive, you always say salihah, as-salihah, as-salihah. But it is, when you write, we say salihah. In the same way, for example, even with muzakkar, we say as-salih, as-salih, as-salih. All this one, if you just say, although we write salihu, we say as-salih. We say as-salihah, we say as-salih. We say as-salih, we say as-salih. So when you pause there, it is difficult to know that what's there. But when you write it, then make sure that you are careful. Good question. Any other thing?
I just remembered our teacher, Sheikh Safdar Razi used to tell us it's haram in definitive to use tanween. It's haram. When there's an L, you don't use a tanween, sir.
Okay, yeah, good. Okay, is that clear now? So this was the homework. So these are the observations, okay?
So this only comes into play when you are writing.
Yes, when you are writing, you're supposed to do it.
But in conversation.
In conversation, if it is the end of the word, then of course it will not come. But if it is in between, then it will come. Okay, only when if you end at if your word ends at there, then it's difficult, for example, because you are supposed to always end with sakin. You always pause with sakin. Okay. So for example, we say, if you see people make this mistake, very common mistake, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa al Muhammad. So people say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa al Muhammad. It's wrong, right? Because if you are going to say Muhammad wa al Muhammad, then you have to, if you don't pause, then you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa al Muhammad. But people will find they make mistakes. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa al Muhammad. No, they say Muhammad wa al Muhammad. It's wrong grammatically, completely. If you want to say Muhammad, then just pause there. So Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, then say ala Muhammad. But if you're not going to pause, then say Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. It is fine people make mistake when they say salawat, but in namaz, that mistake will not be accepted. It will not be accepted. Your recitation is incorrect. You can't say in tashahud, you have to say Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. You can't say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay. So this was the observation. Number one, only 8 out of 17 submitted the homework. Maybe you can tell me as an instructor, what is the reason? Why people don't see the reason or not the importance of doing the homework?
I didn't realize you were supposed to submit homework. Unless this has changed recently.
Sorry?
I didn't realize you were supposed to submit homework because in the past, the direction was to keep your homework to yourself.
It was there in the slide.
I missed it then, sorry.
There was in the slide, and after that, the administrative secretary sent email twice. You know, if you see, there was an email sent out, survey form, twice, whereby it was also reminded that you do the homework. And it was also there in the slide. So it is important that we do. Okay. Any other reason? Okay. So I really, because I feel that homework will also benefit you and benefit me. Okay, good. Some missed alif after the word saleh. The way you saw me also, I also made a typo. You see, salihun. Because the word mumin did not have alif. No. This mumin does not have alif here. The word saleh has alif. Some of us missed this alif. Even when I was typing, I also the typo. So salihun. So some of us missed this alif in saleh. That was a mistake I noticed. Another mistake I noticed is that some added tanween to the definite cases. As just now doctor said that no, it is haram to use tanween, right? And so some people still use tanween to definite cases. You cannot. Please know that when we change indefinite noun to a definite, it loses tanween, as the noun cannot be indefinite and definite at the same time. You cannot, for example, you cannot say this is the pen. You can't say this is the pen, right? This is the pen, or this is a pen. This is a pen, that means it can be any. This is the pen, that means the pen you're looking for. Okay, so you cannot say no, this is the book. No. So keep in mind that, so the moment you make it indefinite, definite, then tanween is lost. Okay. Some forgot to add alif after fatatain in accusative case. Okay. Now this is, I said last time, but still it was repeated. No. For example, here, salihan. Do you see? Salihan. There is always alif after fatatain, except for two letters, ta marbuta and alif maksura. Okay. So let's check the example, for example. Let's go to Surah number 18, which is Surah Al-Kahf. Open the Quran. Okay. Open the Quran and then go to ayat number 13 and 14.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, ayat number 13, it ends also with fatatain, but there is a fatah, alif after that, right? So you can see Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. نحن نقص عليك نبأ بالحق إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى. Do you see? So this is, Allah is talking about a group of people who were Ashab Kahf, who decided to go away and hide in a cave. So نحن نقص عليك, we are going to now screen your story, عليك, no, this account of truth. إنهم, they were indeed the youths who had faith in the road. وَزِدْنَاهُمْ هُدَى, and we enhanced their guidance. So زِدْنَاهُمْ هُدَى, you can see. You see, after huda, there is alif maksura. So then you don't need alif another, because there are two alif there, right? Because this is alif maksura. But since there is already alif maksura, you don't need other. But when it comes to ta marbuta, also you don't need. On the next ayat, you can see وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ إِذْ قَامُوا فَقَالُوا رَبُّنَا رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَن نَّدْعُوَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَٰهًا لَقَدْ قُلْنَا إِذًا شَطَطًا. Right? You can see. In fact, if you take surah number 17, all the verses, the surah before this is 17, which is 111 verses. So every verse ends with fatatain, and which is followed by kasr or fatah, alif. Okay, every verse, subhanallah. This is the beauty. The entire surah, from beginning to the all verses end with fatatain followed by alif. So is the case in 18 and 19, many verses. But 17, the entire surah, every verse, you can see, ends with fatatain and alif. So keep in mind.
So when you say in this Surah 18, ayah number 13,
Yes.
when we say at the end, وَزِدْنَاهُمْ Huda, should we stretch it like Huda?
Yes, yeah.
If you want to stop there when you are reciting, so amanu bi rabbihim wazidnahum huda.
Huda. Yeah, Huda.
That
You
the
pause.
right way?
Yeah, you will pull it. Yeah,
Okay, and if I
yeah.
don't want to stop at that ayah, I can continue with hudan.
Hudan. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And remember, I gave you the website earlier. The word Quran, word by word. Quran WBW. If you go to that website, and you can also listen to that ayat only being recited, ayat by ayat. So you don't need to, for example, listen to the entire surah. Just click that ayat, and you can listen to it. If there is a time today, we will go to that. Okay, but good question. Yes. Any other questions?
Yeah, Sheikh Sahib, here you said Hudan ends with an alif. Here it ends with a ya. It is Hudan and then with a ya, not an alif there.
No, it's alif maksura.
Where is alif? In the Quran, it says Hudan.
Now that alif maksura is the alif without dots. Ya without dots. Ya without dot is alif maksura.
But in Surah Kaf,
Yes,
in
yeah.
ayat 13,
Yes.
there's a ya at the end after the dal.
That is not ya. That is alif maksura.
That's called, okay, looks like a ya.
Yeah, without doubt, without dot.
Okay, okay.
Ya without dot is alif maksura.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay. So that is alif
Yeah,
maksura.
I didn't know that. This is something new to me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's alif maksura, which is alif, but just without dot. And
Okay.
it has the same role. The only difference is that if it is joined, then it becomes ya.
Okay.
For example, we say alayhi salam, right? What was it? Original was Allah upon, he is upon him. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So it was Allah and then he. When you join that, alif maksura becomes ya. Okay, so it's alif maksura. Any questions? Okay, so this was observation. Now we come to the lesson which we could not cover last week, so we come to it, okay? This is lesson 17. This is interesting because now we are getting into feminine and masculine nouns. No difference, okay? So you can also open the text if you want, or you can look at the slides, okay? So let's go to the text to start with. It's good to open the text because that is our text, right? So lesson number 17. Okay. If you open the text, right, it's on page 52. Masculine and feminine nouns, right? Al-asma al-muttakir al-muanna, right? Al-muzakkar al-muannas, no? So, of course, al-asma al-muzakkar al-muannas, no? The masculine and feminine nouns, okay? Al-asma. Ism is noun, asma is plural, nouns, okay? Every noun is considered masculine unless indicated by feminine. Again, you see. Keep this in mind. Remember, I told you two things. Always noun is nominative as a default. Always noun is indefinite as a default. Now the third thing again. Always noun is masculine as a default unless it is indicated by any of the signs we make it feminine. Okay? So default is masculine, default is nominative, default is indefinite. Are you with me? So here we are told every noun is considered masculine unless indicated by feminine by any of the following signs. Okay. So the first sign is what? Ending with ta marbuta or of alif maksura or alif with a madda and hamza. So when you see the noun ending with these things, then they are masculine. So for example, bayda. Bayda means white. Bayda'u. Okay, so there is bayda there is alif, and after that is hamza. Although here in our text they have forgotten to put madda there. Okay, unlike, for example, sauda, they're supposed to put madda on alif. So bayda, sauda, hamra. It is madda should be there. So bayda. Okay, so this is feminine. Bayda, sauda, hamra. Sugra. For example, if somebody's name is Sagir, that is masculine. Okay? But the boy will be Sagir, the girl will be Sugra. Okay? So if you have name your daughter as Sugra, And if Allah gives you a son after that, and if you want to keep the same name, then bring it Sagir. Okay? It's like Amin and Amina, right? Do you see? So, for example, if you have, for example, a son whose name is Kabir, and then Allah gives a daughter, and you want to keep the same, it's a Kubra. So that is why, for example, you've got Ghaibat al-Sugra. Why it is Ghaibat al-Sugra and not Ghaibat al-Sagir?
Because ghaiba is a feminine word.
Ahsan. Because the Ghaiba is a feminine, and Sugra is describing it, so it has to follow the same. So Ghaibat al-Sugra. We don't say Ghaibat al-Sagir. Okay? Ghaibat al-Kubra, Ghaibat al-Sugra. Because Ghaiba is a feminine. It ends with Ta marbuta. Okay? So Sugra, Kubra, Bushra, right? And now Ta marbuta, which is most common. Jannatun, Izzatun, Nusratun, Az-Zakatu, As-Salatu, right? But of course, when you pause, it's just say Jannah, Izzah, Nusra, Az-Zakah, As-Salah. Do you see? So As-Salat, remember I told you As-Salatu? You can see this is Salat, As-Salatu, right? Salat. Az-Zakat, we just say Az-Zakah, we don't say Az-Zakat, Az-Zakah, As-Salah, Nusra, Izzah, Jannah. But of course, because people didn't know the language, they just say Jannat. We say Izzat. Mari Izzat, right? We say Meri Izzate. In Urdu and Gujarati, it still was Izzat. Actually, it is Izzah, not Izzat. But over time, it has been transliterated as Izzat and Jannat and Salat and Zakat. No. Ta will be only pronounced if it is joined with somebody. Otherwise, pronounced as Ha. No.
Mm.
Hmm? So these are all signs of feminine. Number one. Number two, parts of the body that are in pairs. So, for example, I've got two eyes. They are feminine. But I only have got one nose, right? So, nose will be masculine. Okay. But eyes will be feminine. So, all the parts of the body which are two in pairs are feminine. So, yad, right, has two hands. Ears, there are two, uzunun. Feet, rijlun. Lip, shafatain, because you can see there are two, shafatain, shaf, right? These are also feminine. Okay. Number three, names given to some of the winds. No, samun, rihun. These are some of the winds which are given, which is not coming so often, but since they are mentioned in the Quran, so that's where the author has included. So these are also feminine. Also, name given to the fire. Narun, Jahannam. Now, for example, don't try to be feminist and say, oh, see, ladies are, Nar is Jannah. But even Jannat is also feminine. What about that, right? So if you are going to say that Nar is feminine, what about Jannat? Jannat also not masculine, it's also feminine, okay? So there is no here, for example, trying to be feminist or masculine. There is no need to do that, right? Don't try to overread this, okay? So names given to fire are Narun, Jahannam. Okay? Miscellaneous. These are some of the words which does not have this kind of sign, but even they are considered as feminine. Sama'un, ardun, nafsun, harbun, khamrun, shamsun. Okay, these are words which are feminine, although it may not have those signs, ta marbuta, or for example, alif maksura. Right, so these are words which are considered as feminine. Certain nouns ending with ta marbuta and alifa are not necessarily feminine. Okay, so keep in mind. For example, ummatun, amatun means uncle. Amatun means uncle. So although it is ending with ta marbuta, but it's not feminine. Ulama'u, right, is ending with alif and hamza, but it is masculine. Fuqara'u, poor, right? Although it is ending with alif and hamza, it is still masculine. Muawiyah, right? It ends with ta marbuta, but still it is a masculine. Khalifa, it ends with ta marbuta, but still masculine. Okay, so keep in mind that there are certain words which end with alif and hamza or ta marbuta, but they are not feminine. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So let us look at these words in the ayat of Quran which are there, and then you will tell me where is the feminine, okay? All these ayat have a feminine word. You have to point it out. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا. What is the feminine here?
Would it be Sama?
Awesome. Sama is feminine. If Sama was masculine, how would this ayat read?
At the end, we wouldn't have a ha. The banaynaha would be banaynahu.
Awesome. Okay. You can see وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا. And the heavens and the sky, we made it. So it here refers to the heaven. But because heaven is a feminine, Allah said وَنَيْنَاهَا. If it was masculine, we say وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهُ. Are you all with me? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then وَالْأَرْضَ فَرَشْنَاهَا. What is the feminine here?
Earth.
Earth is the feminine. And again, if earth was masculine, how would this ayat read?
Farashnahu.
Yeah. وَالْأَرْضَ فَرَشْنَاهُ. Do you see now? So how smart you start observing this thing. That how you can see it follows, you see? So even for example, let's say for instance, you forgot is earth a masculine or feminine? In this ayat, you would immediately pick it up. It is a feminine. How? Because this is banaynaha. The fact that Allah says banaynaha, we have made it. That means earth is feminine. Are you with me? Okay. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. By the soul and the proportion given to it. So nafs is what? A feminine. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. And the proportion given to it. Again, if it was masculine, you say وَنَفْسٌ وَسَوَّاهُ. وَسَوَّاهَا. Okay. بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. No, it was white to all the beholders. بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. Bayda is a feminine here. Next ayat. إِنَّ الْإِزَّةَ لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Subhanallah. This is the ayat you should always memorize it, okay? It's a beautiful ayat. إِنَّ الْإِزَّةَ لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Okay? Honor all is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If somebody is trying to, for example, attack your dignity, keep in mind that the real honor is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody can attack, no. In the izzata, all honor is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The real honor of the honor, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But izzatullah, indeed, the honor is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bushrakum al-yawma, good news for you this day. Al-jannata allati wa'ida al-muttaqun. Eternal garden promised to the righteous. So you can see al-jannati. Do you see allati there? Allati? Allati is same as alladhi, but it is a feminine of alladhi. Okay, we did alladhi, right, in our dua. So alladhi is the one who. Allati is the one who, but feminine. So jannata allati with the jannah which will be what promised to the righteous. Any questions? Good. Alhamdulillah. So here is, for example, yes, Ali, go ahead.
Just a question. In wasama'a wal arda, those are direct objects. So we have a fatah. But then in nafsin, it's a kisra.
Yes.
Why is it kisra?
Okay. Keep in mind that these are not complete verses.
Mm.
These are just, if you have to look at the entire verse to be able to know. Okay. So for example, وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا, because it is, if you take the entire ayat, then you know that why there is this accusative of sama. Okay. This is just, they were taken a phrase from the verse.
Okay.
You have to look at the entire verse to know it. Wal arda was nafs, So there must be the reason. If you look at the entire verse, then you'll be able to know it. But of course, the third one is very clear. Wa nafsi wa nasab. This is why we call qasam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But good question. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So this, of course, this is the homework, but you can do on your own. So this is, inshallah, what we decided, that this will be our next class, inshallah, will be here start on as I'm following what your advice and your survey. We'll start 2 weeks after Eid, so we'll start inshallah the 1st of April, 6 Wednesdays to May 6th. Okay, the time will be earlier. I think Sister Sabra will be happy because no, she does not like late, right? So this will be 7 p.m. The reason is that because namaz is at 8 p.m. So we'll do before namaz. Okay.
Are we
that's
doing it on Wednesday or Tuesdays?
You see, because first of all, only 8 people submitted this survey.
Yeah.
Out of 8, 2 said Wednesdays. And
Two
we have a rule in academy that if you don't get 10 students, we don't start a course. So I
Okay.
didn't want to lose these 2 people.
So
Yeah,
Tuesday,
we have, for example, all 17 coming back, and if these 2 don't come, then I don't mind making Tuesday.
no, Sheikh Sahib, you said 2 said Wednesday and 6 said Tuesday. That's what you mean?
No. I said either Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Yes. No, you said on the opinions. 2 people
Yeah,
said
two
Wednesday
said Wednesday, 2 said Wednesdays.
and 6 said Tuesday then.
No,
So
6
the
said either
majority
way.
said Tuesday.
6 said Tuesday or either way.
So are we having it on Tuesday or Wednesdays?
Wednesdays.
Okay.
Wednesdays.
Hmm.
Wednesdays.
So you
But
didn't
let's see, as I said,
you didn't go by the
if-
majority. Majority said Tuesday.
no, sorry, not the other 6 said either way.
Oh,
Okay.
either way.
Either way, yeah. The 2 of them were insistent on Wednesday. I personally prefer Tuesday because as I told you, once a month
I
after
said
attending a
Tuesday
meeting.
only.
I think to confirm with me is that I confirmed and somebody else told me yes, I would prefer Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
I also
Okay.
said Tuesday only.
Okay, good. That's fine. We can change Tuesday, okay? You still
Yeah,
have time.
I would prefer
Still
Tuesday
time.
too.
I will send out a survey once more, okay? Tomorrow, the survey will send out tomorrow once more, and just let us know that what majority say, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
As I said, my preference is Tuesday because Wednesday is a meeting day, no?
Yeah, that's why I thought Tuesday would be better for you.
Okay,
and
good.
for
Any other questions? Again, thank you very much for joining us with us in this course. I really hope and pray that when you recite Quran this Ramadan or dua, you look at these things and try to see that some of the rules which you have learned are they being applied on this Quran, on the duas, okay? And let us not forget each other in our duas. Okay, month of Ramadan is a very special time. Please pray that we can continue offering this course because this is the course. Whenever I start, I have so many people, but then by the time we reach level 5, 6 people start fizzling out. So then I never be able to complete this book, although it's very simple book, right? But I will never be able to complete because I never get enough students till end. And because I'm running on the academy, the law their internal ruling that we should have at least 10 students because of all the administrative cost of running a course, announcing flyers, website posting, all this is the cost, right? There's a cost involved. So there is a rule that we have at least 10 people to start a course. So please pray that we can continue offering this thing because I personally benefit a lot. When I teach this thing, I benefit a lot, because this is Quran, right? We are not learning Arabic, we are learning Quranic Arabic. Our intention is to read the Quran, du'as and hadith, and we understand it, right? So which is the ibadat itself.
So, Sheikh Saba, I joined in level 4 just now. So I just want to know from level 1 onwards, you have started from lesson 1 of this textbook from level 1?
Yes.
All the recordings are available on the website?
Yes, there.
This month of Ramadan, we can do the revision.
Yeah. Just go to our website. On the Quranic, we can find all those lessons. Not only that, you'll find a number of times I've been taught this thing.
Yeah.
So we can go to the website to get these recordings.
Yes, are there.
Because even I joined late. I joined in lesson 4.
If you just go to website, let me just type for you, okay? To go to Academy of Islam. Actually, let me take you there, okay? Let me take you that website. Just bear with me. I'll take you there, okay? So I will go to that. And then do you see this? Can you see the website now?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you go to Quran, under Quranic Arabic here, you see Quranic Arabic? Now here, if you go there, Quranic Arabic, okay. Do you see this all courses? All this level 1, 2, 3, 4, again, level 3, 2, 18, you know, level 2, 1 and 2 again, right? So it's been taught a number of times. So all this, if you just click here, level 1, and then it will take you the course and the slides and the recordings. Do you see?
Oh, the recording is also there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Here is the recording.
All right.
Okay. So all those are there. If you find anything missing, just write to the webmaster who has been contacting me too, Hassan Sayed.
Yeah. Shukran.
Okay.
Inshallah. Sang.
Okay, keep us in du'as. Thank you again for joining us, inshallah.
Thank you.
We will see you in either on Tuesday or Wednesday after Ramadan, inshallah.
Inshallah.
We will send once more a survey. Please, I request you, all of you, to respond so we decide which day. We have not yet announced. Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Jazakallah. Ramzan
Khudá
Kareem.
Hafiz, iltimas dua.
Masadullah. Allah Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.
Khudá Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Khudá Hafiz.
Yeah.